Justice in court. Before we begin, honesty is required. The voice delivering these words may be generated by artificial intelligence, but the message itself is deeply human. It is driven by conscience, lived experience, and observation. The purpose is not deception, but clarity. When the natural voice is not strong enough to carry the weight of truth, another vessel is chosen so that the message may still reach those who are willing to listen. Justice, after all, is not concerned with the messenger, it is concerned with the truth. Justice in court is presented to society as the highest form of fairness, the final authority where truth is weighed and wrongdoing corrected. People are taught from an early age that the courtroom is sacred ground, a place where lies are exposed and righteousness prevails. Yet this belief rests on assumptions that deserve careful examination. When one steps back and observes the structure, rituals, and conduct within courts, a deeper and more uncomfortable reality begins to emerge. Every person who appears before a judge is required to swear an oath. They are instructed to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and then to utter the words, "So help me God." This oath is not a formality. It is a moral binding, intended to activate the conscience of the individual. It appeals not to law, but to something older and higher than law, an inner awareness of right and wrong. The oath assumes that truth exists, that it matters, and that there are consequences beyond the courtroom for violating it. However, the effectiveness of this oath depends entirely on one thing: conscience. A person without conscience can recite the words perfectly and still speak falsehood without inner resistance. The oath does not compel truth, it merely invites it. It calls upon the moral core of the individual, and if that core is damaged, ignored, or overridden by self-interest, the oath becomes empty sound. What is rarely questioned is who is required to take this oath and who is not. Witnesses must swear, defendants must swear. Ordinary people, often nervous and vulnerable, are placed under moral pressure before they speak. Yet lawyers, prosecutors, and legal representatives do not take the same oath. They are not required to swear before God to tell the truth. This exclusion is not accidental, it is systemic. It reflects an unspoken understanding within the legal system that certain participants are permitted to manipulate truth rather than submit to it. Lawyers are trained not to seek truth, but to secure victory. Their professional success is measured by wins, not by honesty. They are rewarded with money, reputation, and status for outperforming their opponents, not for aligning with justice. Within this framework, bending facts, exploiting technicalities, and shaping narratives become acceptable tools. The truth becomes secondary, sometimes irrelevant, as long as the desired outcome is achieved. This creates a profound moral imbalance. Those who are most powerful in the courtroom are those least bound by conscience. Those who are sworn to uphold justice are often the very ones who redefine it to suit their objectives. In such an environment, justice is no longer a principle, it is a strategy. And when justice becomes a strategy, injustice is inevitable. Universal justice does not operate in this manner. Universal justice is not impressed by titles, robes, or victories. It does not recognize legal loopholes or procedural cleverness. It is not delayed by appeals or silenced by rulings. Universal justice responds to intention, action, and consequence. It observes not only what is said, but why it is said. It weighs not only outcomes, but the paths taken to achieve them. In court, a person may win a case through deception and walk away celebrated. Under universal justice, that same person has merely postponed their reckoning. The imbalance created by falsehood must be corrected. The energy released through injustice does not disappear, it returns. Sometimes it returns as loss, sometimes as exposure, sometimes as internal collapse. The form varies, but the principle does not. Judges occupy a unique position in this system. They are seen as neutral arbiters, guardians of fairness, and embodiments of wisdom. Yet judges are human, and humans are susceptible to bias, pressure, ambition, and fear. When a judge prioritizes reputation over righteousness, or procedure over truth, they too step out of alignment with universal justice. A ruling may be lawful and still be unjust. A judgment may follow the letter of the law while violating its spirit. The courtroom often claims to be a place where facts alone matter. In reality, power matters, resources matter, eloquence matters. Those with money can afford better representation. Those with influence can exert subtle pressure. Those without these advantages are often left to rely solely on their oath and their conscience, hoping that truth will be enough. Too often, it is not. This is why so many people leave court feeling violated rather than vindicated. They entered believing in justice and exited carrying disillusionment. They spoke truth and were dismissed. They were harmed and then blamed. They watched lies rewarded and integrity ignored. These experiences are not forgotten by universal justice. Every unjust ruling, every manipulated outcome, every silenced voice is recorded, not in documents, but in consequence. Justice is not confined to courtrooms. Courts are human institutions, and like all human institutions, they are flawed. Universal justice, by contrast, is not an institution. It is a law of balance that predates governments and will outlast them. It operates whether one believes in it or not. It does not require recognition to function. Those who misuse the court system to harm others often believe they have escaped accountability. They tell themselves that legality equals morality, that a favorable ruling absolves them of responsibility. This belief is dangerous. It leads to arrogance, repetition, and escalation. And with each act of injustice, the eventual correction grows stronger. Universal justice does not rush. It allows patterns to form. It allows individuals to reveal who they truly are through repeated choices. When correction comes, it is precise. It addresses the root, not the surface. It teaches through experience what conscience failed to teach through reflection. For the victim, this understanding can be a source of strength. Being failed by the court does not mean being abandoned by justice. Being silenced in a courtroom does not mean being unheard. Universal justice recognizes suffering, even when institutions deny it. It restores balance in ways that courts cannot, because courts deal only with events, while universal justice deals with essence. This does not mean that courts have no value. When aligned with truth and conscience, they can serve as tools of order and protection. But when courts become arenas of performance rather than places of truth, they lose their moral authority. Law without justice is merely control. Order without conscience is oppression. The oath taken in court points to a truth the system itself often ignores. Justice requires moral alignment. Speaking truth, so help me God, is an acknowledgement that there is a higher standard than human law. Excluding those with the most influence from this oath reveals a quiet admission that the system does not fully trust itself to operate under that higher standard. In the end, justice in court is temporary. Justice in universal law is permanent. Court rulings can be overturned, records can be sealed, history can be rewritten, but consequences cannot be escaped. They move through time, through relationships, through generations. They appear where least expected and teach lessons long avoided. The era in which injustice could hide behind procedure is closing. People are questioning authority. They are comparing outcomes with principles. They are noticing patterns. This is not chaos. It is correction. It is not revenge. It is balance. It is not hatred. It is alignment. Justice is not angry. It is exact. It does not shout. It acts. Those who honor truth, even when it costs them, remain protected by it. Those who exploit systems for personal gain may celebrate briefly, but they do so to borrowed time. Justice in court may fail. Universal justice does not. And when the two finally meet, only one will stand unchanged.